This is a test to see if our voices are picked up. Can you tell me your name?
My name is Carmela. Everybody knows me as Carmie and Nanny Carmie.
Hello, this is Father Louis Scurti, and this is going to be a very special interview with my cousin, Carmela Scurti. She's a hoot. You're going to meet her, and you're going to find out the other side of the Scurti family. She's a South Jersey Scurti, and we're the North Jersey Scurtis. Carmela, thank you for being here with me.
My pleasure, Father Lou.
Give me what?
Louis, like
Yeah,
I used
please,
to
that's
do.
my name. Give me one of the first memories you have of me.
Okay. Actually, it was my wedding day, and all the North Jersey Scurtis were invited to the wedding, and you were just a little boy. I think you were 4 years old, and you had a brother, very well mannered. No other way with that dad of yours. You know, it's a beautiful wedding, beautiful day, and I got to meet all of the Scurtis, and it's been like a lifelong love fest with all of us.
Thank you. Probably, I guess I have to say the reason I'm being inspired to interview today is a conversation we had over dinner when you were reminiscing. Now, what year is this as far as your age goes?
What? Say that again?
How old are you?
90 and counting.
So we're in your 91st year, right? Because we were all at the 90th birthday party last.
Yes, you were. And a wonderful fair it was.
Tell me about your family, and then I want to hear some stories about great human interest stories that you started to tell me at dinner. Tell me, who's your family, first of all?
My childhood,
Well, yeah, sure.
well, there were 7 of us. Mom and Dad, Grandmom and Grandpop, and that's how it was. There are 11 of us in a tiny little household in the Philadelphia area. And I'm a child of the Depression, and I do remember those days. And I think I still carry some, not of the wounds, but being very thrifty, you know, and no matter what's coming my way, I will try to not waste it. Let's put it that way.
And you and Jim were married when?
Well, I honestly never had a boyfriend. I really wasn't interested in anybody. I was very young though, but we got married young in those days. And I was about 17 years old. And it was wartime, of course. And my dad worked at the Philadelphia Naval Base, and he would come in and say, "Oh, the ship's all pulled in." He said, "Man, these sailors, they're wild. They're running around with all these women. He said, "Wow, they're wild." Well, it just so happened that one Sunday afternoon, my mother sent me to the store to buy some groceries, and on my way, Mrs. Scurti, I only knew her as Mrs. Scurti. I was walking by, and she said, she knew my name. And she told me, Carmela.
Angelina Scurti.
Angelina Scurti. She said,
What did she call you?
Carmela, vieni qua, come here. She said, I want you meet you, my boy. Meet you, my boy. That's okay. So he was working on his car. He was still home on leave, you know. And it was like kind of an instant thing with us. We kind of, I never really liked anybody, and he wasn't in uniform, so I can't say I fell for the uniform, you know. It was just his way of, it was just a click, you know. And he said, "Where are you going?" I said, "I was going to the store." He said, "Well, I'll take you there." He says, "And I'll drive you home." You know, can you imagine getting in somebody's car you don't know? And I did. In the meantime, 2 young fellows that I used to write to that were in the service were visiting that day. Jim comes in, and I introduced him to my mother, And he said, Mrs. Juliana, I would like to take your, no, he didn't even ask me, did I want to go out? He said, I would like to take your daughter to the movies. And my mother being like, she doesn't want to be an old-fashioned mom, she said, oh, okay. But she really didn't mean so. Boom, I left before she changed her mind. Can you? And that was the beginning of our romance. And it was just like a few weeks that I knew him. He had just come home on leave. And when my father found out, he was a sailor. He was my dad's worst nightmare. He said, you're taken to the movies? Right back here. Yeah, and he did right home again. And so our romance was, he was aboard the USS Delta. We had a favorite song even before he left in those 2 weeks. And I used to get letters from the guys aboard ship, and they says, when we pull into port, we are, he said, when we go out to sea again, we are throwing your boyfriend overboard if he plays that song one more time. And it was Vaughan Monroe's There I Said It Again.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so even 75 years later, that they still play that song. It's just like a step back in time of beautiful, beautiful memories. So can you imagine, we only really knew each other like for those 2 weeks, and he came home in 46. We were married in 47. We didn't plan anything. We just let everything happen. You know, there was no saving for this. We just, and it worked out well.
God bless you.
Well. Mm-hmm.
Now, I want our audience to know how, I know we're cousins, but how I got affiliated with you guys down in South Jersey. I do remember us taking my father's station wagon to come visit as children.
Always the food. Your mom was the best cook, and I couldn't understand. She would pile your plates high with pasta, and I thought to myself, no way can those kids eat that. But they didn't leave the table. You didn't leave the table till every morsel of food was cleared off that plate.
That's why I gained so much weight as a child.
Yeah, help you put that on too when you came to live with us, remember?
Okay, that's the key. Now, many years later, I had graduated college, and I was looking for a position, teaching probably, and a good friend of mine, Sister Dorothy, who is a Filipino sister in Paul VI High School locally, said, I have a job for you. I can get you a position at Cathedral Academy in Camden. I didn't know Camden from a hole in the wall, and I said, sure, but where would I live? And how was that solved? My residence issue.
Say that again.
How did my residence get established with you?
Oh, that was so funny. Your mom, you arrived, mommy by your side. By that time, we had 5 kids. The 5 kids, a little Cape Cod house with 4 bedrooms. We had 4 bedrooms, 2 up and 2 down. And we somehow managed, didn't we, Lou?
Yes.
It was, so we did some shuffling. We did some shuffling about. And Lou got to meet the kids one by one. Was Johnny the last one you met?
And how did I meet him?
Yeah, and all of a sudden the back door opened. Somebody was chasing him. He tripped and fell, and he slid across the floor, and we said, and this is John. Yeah.
And it's funny because Carmela's my father's first cousin, so she's my second, her kids are my third, and all. I don't even know how that goes, but we're close.
We're very close. You know, you became son number 3, and you still are son number 3, Father Lou.
Thank you.
And
Okay.
I can remember when Lou came to the house, he had been in the seminary for a while, remember, for 1 year.
Yes.
And I knew you were coming in, and I said to my children, now, Cousin Lou was in the seminary, and when you come down those steps, you better look decent. Keep your robes on, keep your slippers on, you know, and behave yourselves. So they followed orders. When you moved in with us, they followed orders. They came down all dressed. Lou comes down, shaggy hair, short little shorts on, a T-shirt. My kids looked at me, ripped off their robes, their slippers. Good morning, Lou. And that was the start of a year long. That was a fun. That was a vacation.
Yeah.
So many funny things happened. It really did.
And that was 1 year, but it made such an impression on me.
A water fight in the kitchen.
Often.
Often, yeah. I remember the one day, Phyllis thought she was so cute, and Lou, you were still eating your dinner, and she'd left the table to get a drink of water or something. She had some left in the glass, so she poured it down Lou's back. Louis, you didn't say a word. You just finished eating your dinner. That was it. She thought it was all over. Suddenly, where she was putting the dishes. I remember she picked up the dish and she put them in the sink, and Father Lou walked up behind her, put her hands behind her back, put the sprinkler down her blouse and turned the water on and let it run and run. It was down the sink, across the kitchen. Oh my God, what a cleanup job we had, right?
It was.
I think my husband left by then.
Yeah, I think he went to the old ship.
He went to work. He would have killed us. I'm telling you, it was so funny. It was a nice cleanup job, but it was a fun time. We did some crazy things, didn't we, Lou?
Absolutely.
And that stupid car of yours. I don't know how your mother trusted you in it. She was probably trying to get rid of you, to tell you the truth. I swear. It never worked. Oh my God, it's always breaking down. But you got there one time.
Okay, we're going to stop right here because the stories are phenomenal. We'll hear more. This is Carmela Scurti, who is married to my father's first cousin, Vincent Jim Scurti. We do that in our families. We screw up the names. And Carmela and Jim had 5 kids, and you're going to hear stories about every one of them in a few minutes. This is Father Louis Scurti with Carmela Scurti, interviewing a person who's made it to 90 plus years and is as vibrant today as she was the first day I met her. We'll be back.